What is going on, guys? Welcome back to RideRazor. My name is Austin, and in today's video, we're going to be going over how to do a 360 downside tail whip. So this is going to be the first combination trick that we're going to be teaching you guys how to do in this series. We've pretty much made it through 90% of the basic tricks, so it's time to start combining them. So if you guys have not already watched our video on how to do a 360 and how to do a downside tail whip, click the card, click the link down below, watch those, and come back to this, because if you can't do either of those tricks, you're gonna have a really tough time learning this one. So the trick is exactly like it sounds. It is a 360 and a downside tail whip combined. So if you guys don't already know that, there you go. So essentially what you guys are going to be doing is doing a downside tail whip. Once you get back on the scooter, you're going to be completing the last 180 to make the full 360. So it's practically a downside tail whip late 180. It is a pretty tough trick to learn initially, but with practice, you guys should be able to get it down pretty quick. All right, so when it comes to actually trying a 360 downside tail whip, what you're going to do is approach a ramp that you guys feel comfortable airing out of. You're going to compress your knees, hop, do a downside tail whip just like you normally would. Once the deck is coming around and you are preparing to land on the deck, you're going to want to make sure that deck makes contact with your feet fairly high up in the air, because you still need to complete the 360. Once the deck comes around and meets with your feet, you're going to want to be ready to yank that last 180 and land the full 360. And this really only comes with practice. So just in case you guys want to see, this is what the motion looks like. So if I was approaching the top of the ramp, my knees are compressed because I'm about to hop. I'm going to kick out the downside tail whip. I spin around to catch it, and then I keep spinning. So it looks a little complicated on the ground, but once that deck and you meet, you just keep spinning. You never stop spinning the entire time. So while the deck is going around this way, your body is spinning the opposite way, but instead of stopping at the 180 point where you catch the deck, you just keep spinning. When it came down to learning 360 downside tail whips for myself, what I did is I learned how to do 270 downside tail whips. What this did was help me get a little bit more comfortable spinning more than a 180 with the downside tail whip, because essentially you never stop spinning. So your body is going to be spinning the entire time, and you just so happen to meet the deck halfway. Once you guys see me doing the trick, it'll make a little bit more sense, but essentially what you're doing is a downside tail whip. Once you make contact with the deck, complete the last 180, make the full 360, and roll away. Alrighty, so when it comes to trying a 360 downside tail whip, I recommend you guys try it out of a quarter pipe or a kicker ramp, just like a majority of these fly out tricks. Since this one is a combo, you are going to need a good amount of air time, so make sure it is a ramp that you guys get fairly high out of and you're comfortable doing pretty much any trick out of. So now that we know how to do the trick and where to do the trick, let's go try a few.